It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. Tonight on Trains and Tech, we're going to do things. We're going to do a lot of different things. We're going to do a couple different things. I know the thumbnail is all about support, and I definitely need support. I know some other people probably need some support, so we'll talk a little bit about support. But I also want to show people what I've got going on with my railroad. If you look behind me over, I think this shoulder here, you'd see a light just came on and a light went off. I'm going to show you very quickly, just straight run through how I'm able to turn that light on and off and what that has to do with model railroading. Mr. Piktovid chipping in to the Stability Fund. If you haven't seen Mr. Piktovid's channel, he just went to a train show this past weekend that was not only G-scale, he's branching out, checking out some other scales along the way and making, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by some of these comments. It's not a light switch, it's not, but, you know, and if you can see my nose hairs from there, you're a better person than I am. But anyway, I do want, is he even here now? He might not be here yet. Oh, there he is. He is there. So we're going to give a little shout out to John 2618 and one of John's old layouts. Unfortunately, the layout doesn't exist anymore. It is no more. It is it left us here. It is not a part of this world anymore. But this magazine just came out. It's Model Railroaders Great Model Railroads of 2024. And if we flip through it a little bit, and of course I could have put a I could have put something in here to find it, but on page 26, if we scroll through and look, this was John Farrington's old layout at his previous house. And if we go, there's even somewhere here a little, well, there's a, what's that called? A map, a layout plan, a plan. That's what it's called. But you can see there's a little picture of John as well. So go check this out. Model Railroads 2024. It's got, I think, 10 different layouts, nine different layouts, N scale to O scale. Kind of interesting, but just, you know, John was highlighted in this, so I thought we'd check it out. What did I do? What's going on? Oh, because it says 2024. Is that why we're all is that where, yeah, a plan. I know. If you're expecting words from me today, I wouldn't, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up. But yeah, so John, if you don't know, John's working on a new layout now. Let me see if this works. I don't know if this is gonna work. We're gonna try this though. This should take you to, maybe. This should theoretically pop up John's link in a second, maybe, if things are working correctly. And there we go. It finally popped up. You can go subscribe to his channel. You can see his latest layout, which is pretty darn impressive as well. So these aren't new glasses. What these are so these are my progressives, right? So I can see far and I can see close. The problem is the height of these monitors and how close I am to the monitors. To see out of the bottom, I kind of have to look. I have to look up to be, no, not to see out of the bottom. To see to read, I have to look up. So these are cheap, like $2 readers off of Amazon, and they're just, you know, they're full strength all around. So I can actually see with these where I can't see out of other ones. So the other big announcement is, oh, so you say jump between two pairs of glasses. So I actually have 3 pairs of glasses here as well. These are my old glasses. These are my new glasses, and then these are my $2 glasses. But anyway, what were we talking about again? Events, upcoming events. Talking Trains, TSG Multimedia. Tomorrow night, I am going to be co-hosting with John Abaticola, and Seth Newman is going to be on. As you guys know, I like technology, and I like model railroading, so Seth is going to join us and talk about technology. I think we've talked about this before, but Seth sells a bunch of John Plocker's stuff. Seth sells these MTB turnouts and stuff. So Seth's another technology guy. And John and I are going to talk a little bit about operations as well, and have a conversation about our newfound enjoyment and whatnot for operations. And I just realized I didn't see this. Where is it? What was I doing when it came in? I saw Frank Steeler Fan 820 gave me a super chat, but now I can't find it. I apologize. There it is. I found it. There we go. Super sticker from Mr. Frank, Steeler Fan 820. I haven't seen Frank in a little while, so it's good to see him back with us. Yeah, so tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be co-hosting with John. So come over and we'll talk trains, as the title of the show states. All right, so it's not a light switch. It is a light switch. It is actually a light switch. But what I wanted to be able to do is control things through JMRI. I am not going to York, unfortunately, but I'm not. Thank you, Mr. Batovid, for gifting memberships. I appreciate that very much, as I'm sure others do as well. But, not but, and. So I wanted to figure out how to turn things on and off through JMRI. Now, you can say there's nothing back there. It's an empty wasteland. What happened was I went down this technology hole, and the reason I went down this technology hole is because I needed to get some validation that some technology was going to work before I wired it into the system. And if you see behind me there, let's see, nope, that's the wrong one. Let's not use that one. Let's find, which one is it? Let's see, 3. It says it's 3. So I think if I go here, oh yeah, you can kind of maybe make out if you've got really good eyesight, but you can kind of see right behind me, there's these red lights, and what I've been working on is figuring out whether I could turn those little LEDs on and off through JMRI. So I'm going to show everybody using a kind of simple, it's going to be a very quick, very fast walkthrough of how I'm able to turn this on through JMRI. And why am I doing this? I know. I'm just going to show you. It's a little bit complicated the first time. It probably took me about 2 weeks to get the first one going. It took about 2 days to get the second one going. And now I can do things in about 2 minutes. We're going to use a commercially bought product. If you go to At Home, ATHOM, it's kind of like At Home but without the E. You can buy some of these devices. These are the ESP Home devices. And these devices you can set up to control through. Thank you. Container Man just re-upped his membership and gifted 5 memberships as well. Thank you, Mr. Container Man. So this is a smart switch, just like almost any of the other little smart plugs, right? It's a little smart plug like this, commercially made one that works with ESP Home. And what I'm going to do is through JMRI, I'm going to be able to turn this switch on and off. And I'm doing that so that I can use JMRI to turn things on and off on the layout, whether it be track power or whether it be lights or whether it be like a sound module or something like that. So that's what I'm going to do. The first thing I need to do this is to go plug it in. So I'm going to go plug it in. Okay, so that was about the most physically intense part of all of this. So will I be able to tell Alexa to turn on JMRI? Yes, but I don't know kind of the way we're talking about it. So Mr. Bictovid, yes and no. Certain smart home lighting, yes. I am going to set up like these lights and stuff behind me to be able to be controlled with JMRI. 100%, you can turn your TV on and off. So what's happening now is we're going to go here. We're going to share my display while I pick up the trash that I'm stepping on. And what I am going to do is this is my computer that's running JMRI. It's got Panel Pro on it. It's got a couple other things on it, but as I mentioned, these plugs are ESP home devices. You can see it says ESP home up here. So when I plug that thing in, I do not use Siri, no. When I plugged that in, what it did is it created a Wi-Fi network. So the first thing I'm going to do is come in here, and you can see it right here, ATHOM. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it or not. Maybe you can see it. But I'm going to connect to the Wi-Fi network that it created. It was, oh, I just realized you couldn't see that. But anyway, it creates a Wi-Fi network. You connect to the Wi-Fi network. Now I'm going to connect it to my human IoT network and just type in my settings here. And what this is doing is this is programming my Wi-Fi network into that smart switch. The ESP will now try to connect to the network. Please give it some time. We're going to go back here, and you can see already it popped up here. Atom Smart Plug V2. I'm going to adopt it. Click Adopt. I am not going to add an encryption key. I'm not going to explain why, but we can explain it at some point. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this program that I have here, and I am going to copy it because I've already got some that I already made, and I'm going to paste it in here without covering the name up. And I'm doing this these are just various sort of settings and whatnot. This is setting the name of the device. This is setting what Wi-Fi network it connects to, you know, a bunch of different things. It doesn't matter. But what matters is I'm going to wirelessly, over the Wi-Fi that we just set up, I'm updating the software. So that script that I had, that I copied and pasted in, and I'm happy to share it with people if people need it or want it or whatever for things. But I copied and pasted it in. And yes, I'm skipping some steps. The two kind of keys to what I'm doing is something called ESP Home, and it's something called MQTT. I am not going to attempt to explain either of them because I don't know what I'm talking about. People will just get on my case about it because I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, what did I plug it into? I plugged it into a power strip. There's a power strip on the floor behind me. So all I did was plugged it into power because it's a smart plug. So it needs power. So what is happening is I'm using ESP Home to program it. And then MQTT is like the kind of the messages that are sent back and forth. And once I get this all programmed, I can stick that message into JMRI, and you'll see I'll be able to turn this thing on and off. So we're waiting for it to update. While it's updated, we can remind everyone 7 o'clock tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, you guys all know, right? 7 o'clock tomorrow. I've been there. We'll get back to that that later. But this is, I like the technology of it. Do I need to do this? Does anybody need to do this? Probably not. Bob, we're going to talk about tripods in a little bit. I just wanted to show people why I haven't actually gotten to any of the, there's no track laid yet, right? If you go to Grandpa Rails channel, he started his layout about the same time I did, but he's got track down and trains running and all kinds of stuff like that. Whereas I'm still looking at bench work. But hopefully the plan is at some point things will pick up speed I should say now that I've got this this going. Yeah, so this code, this isn't the code I wrote. This is pulling in various framework. You can see it says framework Arduino over here on the sides. These are different frameworks that ESP32, or not ESP32, but ESP, I think it's what is it, 8266. ESP8266 is using to do a bunch of its stuff, so it's downloading the various frameworks. It's now saying on the bottom uploading, so we're actually uploading the new firmware over the air, successfully uploaded program, info connected to MQTT broker. Now that's the good part of this. Now we're gonna do one other thing. Oh, here we go. So now it's connected to the internet, and it is just basically this is just all the information. MQTT connected. Check the status light, the SSID that we talked about earlier, shows signal strength. Anyway, all that stuff, right? So the one last thing though that I want to do is, if you notice, it now says Smart Switch 2, but it's still, for the file name, it's still this weird like file name. So we're gonna rename that. For some reason, I can't rename it in the file. You have to rename it here. If you rename it in the file, you will brick the device and have to re-upload the firmware, and it's kind of a big mess. This should go a little bit faster, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. So what's the likelihood that someone hacks your setup and randomly turns your lights on? If somebody does that, I would be very, very impressed. But yeah, this is definitely something, if you're an Arduino guy like DIY and Digital and you like the technology stuff, this to me is just, I want my layouts to be animated. I want them to have like basically show change in time, show some change in environment and stuff like that. So I'm going to be, yes, Jimmy from DIY and Digital is a hack. So I'm doing this to try and bring my layout to life, I guess. To me, the electronics of the layout are kind of like the nerves of the layout. They're that thing that's, running underneath the layout that like makes things happen, but that you don't really see. So it excites me to kind of get it, put together as well. John, I can just see you, John, doing that, sitting there, turning lights on and off. If I did that, my girlfriend would change the locks on the door and would never ever let me in. So what I'm gonna do now is, so this power strip, this is the light I was using. I'm gonna move the light to the new plug. So it was in the old plug, now it's in the new plug, and I'm moving it to the new plug so I can turn it on and off with the new plug. Yeah, I do. That is true. I do have my own key to this office. So I could theoretically lay on this this hard floor as well. It's fun doing all this animation, but one always needs to include plan B and C. That's true, but part of why I'm taking my time at this point in the layout is because if I plan this out now, if I do this part of the layout planning now, then when I get to trying to do all this stuff later, it's just gonna work. James, I don't have trains running. As I said earlier, yes, a lot of people have started at the same time I have and are now running trains, and I'm still playing with code. It does say success, so I think that's a good thing. And now if we go back here, you can now see it says Smart Switch 2. So this is the new one down here at the bottom. It's showing us offline because it's probably resetting. I've got all of these relays already added to ESP Home. I don't have them added to JMRI yet, but here it is. So this switch is online now. So this is the ESP Home panel, and I can turn on, you can see there's a little switch, turn it on and off. The light behind me is going on and off. And just to show everybody, this is what is being sent, is this command right here, smart switch 1. Nope, not smart switch 1, smart switch 2. That's what we just did. You see it says state off. So I can come over here and I can type in /command and I can turn this on. And when I click publish up here, you'll be able to see it come on over behind me. And if I type in off right here and click publish, it now goes off. So we're now controlling it. So the next part is, how do I get it into JMRI? Because that is the goal, right? I mean, the goal is to get this so that I can control it through JMRI. And I'm in, this is Panel Pro. What I did was I opened the light panel. So in Panel Pro, I have a connection. I have a couple connections. I have my LocoNet connection, which is my command station connection. And then I have my MQTT connection. And remember, that's one of those phrases I said earlier was MQTT. And you can see light send topic here. It says train light with then this little 0 in the squiggly brackets. So we're going to close this. We're going to go back here and I'm going to click on add. So I have smart switch 1 added. That's what I was controlling before. But now, is remember I said we're doing smart switch 2. So I'm going to add, and you can see the system connection. I could select LocoNet, MQTT, or internal. We're going to use MQTT. And now I'm going to type in that same string that I had in the other thingamajiggy. So switch /smart _ switch _2 /command, and we're just going to name this switch 2. And now I'm going to create it, close this. So now I've got 2 switches here. The second switch is the one that I just set up. Now, if I did this correctly, when I hit this button here, this state button, it is going to, JMRI is going to send a command, and it's going to turn that light on. And if I've done it right, down here where it says Smart Switch 2, where it's highlighted, that command in that state should change to on. So we'll see. It should, in theory, it's going to work. I got a lot of help doing this. MQ Trains, which Speed Mueller, Gert Mueller, Speed Mueller, is a big proponent of, and he's done a lot of the work behind it. He has helped me with this. Aaron has also helped me with this over on Discord. We've been passing information back and forth. I've started an MQTT channel on my Discord so that if anybody wants to delve down this rabbit hole, they can delve down the rabbit hole as well. So before I turn the light on, I do want to thank everybody, including them, including you, including the sponsors, and all of that kind of nonsense. I'll be back in 30 seconds, actually 52 seconds, and we'll see if that light actually works.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
So I'm over here laughing my butt off because Joey said he's testing it now. Don't you know it, the second I went to my thank you, I hit the button because I was so curious myself whether what I just did was actually going to work or not. I am happy to say it does work. If you click the button, oh, I clicked it twice. If you click the button, it does the light. Where is it? The light comes on behind me, and you can see the command and everything down here is that. You click off, it goes off, so now you can turn things on and off through JMRI. Of course, one of the next things you would do, which I have not done, but you could add this to, let's say, a panel or something like that, and then through a panel you can turn it on. You can connect a sensor to it so that when a train passes by something, it goes off. If you want to do a, like a fire scene and have the smoke go off at a specific moment, and you want to use JMRI, let's say, to control everything, then this is how you would do it. So this is MQTT. You could use LCC for this. You could use DCC for this. You could use multiple different ways of doing this. This is just one way to do it. And this is just, one of the things that I plan on doing. So Otter Creek Dennis, big picture is you can see here I've got one switch down here on the bottom right labeled Thunder. I have the BLI Thunder and Lightning device. So one of the uses is going to be that I will create a scenario or a scene where I can hit a button and it will it'll be like the storm look, and maybe it'll be like a 20-minute kind of like fading of lights, and it'll look like it's getting cloudier or nighttime, and then the thunder and lightning and stuff will will come on, and then when the storm passes, the thunder will turn off and the lights and everything will go back. So that's one use case scenario. What all of these relays are for, though, as I mentioned, right, I guess you can see them a little, oh, this side. Watch right here. If you watch right there, these are relays. They can be line voltage relays, but you can see over there, you can see the red lights kind of coming on and off. I'm going to use these for track power. On my old layout, I had switches on the fascia of the layout, and those would turn track power on and off for my yard tracks. For this layout, I'm going to use these MQTT controlled layouts these MQTT controlled relays to turn the track power on and off. Heath, are you planning on publishing a list of things one would need to acquire in order to make this happen for themselves? Probably not. I am not an expert in this. I spent a lot of time beating my head against the wall to get this to work. I don't feel like I'm necessarily qualified to teach anybody or show anybody how to do this. If you want to do this, I will more than happily help you over Discord, and I will point you to people like Speed Mueller, who, I don't know if it's Mueller or Muller. I should have asked him. But I will point you to people like that are experts in this type of thing. You can go to the MQ Trains website, which has some information on it. But yeah, so Joey, if you want to do this, like I know this is something that's completely in your wheelhouse, I'll happily walk you through what I did. You'll probably come up with much better things than I can ever come up with on it. Yes, the thunder and lightning did freak the dog out. I'm sure it still will. The red LEDs on the relays are just indicators showing that it's working. It's that they're not doing anything else. Did I find out if more LEDs can be added? I'm not sure added to what. As I mentioned, those are just indicator LEDs. The relays, you can put anything you want through them. I believe they are, if I'm not mistaken, they're like 100-volt relays. Let's see, what does it say? 250-volt AC, 30-volt DC, 10-amp relays. So you could run 120-volt lights through them. You could run, you could run anything through them. So yeah, I have Frank actually gave me the BLI Blue Thunder system. The strips are small, but they're supposed to be. Do you need a launch code to operate that system? You do. The launch code is just a password. In this video, we've got you covered. Join us and we'll uncover the art of achieving rock-solid camera shots during your training show. Oh, are you reading my description, Lynn? Okay, so I'll admit it. If you type things into Chat GPT, it writes stuff for you. So just like type ideas into Chat GPT and things will come up and pop up. James, do you need one for each route that controls 2 turnouts each? I'm not sure what you're asking. Password's not NASA. Yes, you can use longer strips as long as you don't exceed the amperage. I don't know what the amperage is off the top of my head. What did someone say? Show us the flat spot or something? I don't know. I'm not able to. Why can't I scroll back up? Let's see. Here we go. Show us the flat spot. Yeah. There was a lot of banging my head to get that going. Part of why I just wanted to do something a little bit lighter tonight and talk about what I use and some of the tools that I have for holding my camera is because my brain is pretty well fried from all of this stuff. The next step is, though, I know James kept asking when the heck I'm gonna lay track. Soon. This section over here, I don't know if you can see it through this camera or not, but this section over here is still upside down. I added some wire holder things. I'm gonna wire this up next. Now that I know all of this works, the only thing left to do is wire everything up and get it all actually working. So this section will get wired first, then this section will get wired, then this section will get wired. What you see up here, you guys probably can't see me. I'm like walking around in the dark. What you guys see up here are 2 of the boards that have the relays and everything on them. This board is actually going under here, and this board is actually going under here. All of the other boards are actually mounted, ready to go, wired up. So like I'm building from the ground up. I've got the foundation, all more stuff is coming. So should we talk about stability a little bit? Now I can see what Heath is talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have subway cars? Yes, I have subway cars. Yes, somebody actually makes subway cars. I actually have R62 subway cars, which are the subway cars that run on the 1 train line, which is my subway. Yes, I am going to talk about camera stuff as soon as I stop reading all this stuff. Yes, we are looking forward to it as well. Yes, I have 2 fire extinguishers. One is from 2021. The other one's brand new, just because, you know, who knows how well that one's going to last. So let's talk about these things here. I have some big tripods, but when you're working around the layout room, you don't want things that you're going to trip over, or when you go to a train show, you don't want things to trip over. And Dennis from Otter Creek always comments about, like, don't move the camera. I get dizzy when people move the camera around. I think that's a good plan. I like having the camera in one spot, and then if you want a different shot or a different angle, you stop the camera, you move the camera, and then in post you edit the 2 shots together. So I started looking for a bunch of camera supports that had a small base to it, but that had the ability to go up higher, right? So like this one can go up pretty high, but this one still has kind of, you know, kind of a big base to it, right? I mean, it's not a huge base, but it is a base. It's got legs. It is still a trip over, and this is my $20 option. I'm going to talk about options from $20 to, I think, $160, $170 is the most expensive one. So this is $19. This is a piece of junk. It's not that stable. It does wiggle. Well, it's probably hard to tell that it's actually wiggling, but it does wiggle. I had to glue this together. It didn't work. This tripod's not specifically for 360 stuff. I use this tripod for any of my other cameras. For you know, you can mount GoPros to it. You can mount you know, your iPhone cameras. You can mount whatever you want to it. But this one's $20. This is a decent place to start. The little base folds up. You can take it with you pretty easily. I used to take it with you, but it's $20. So during Amazon's recent sale, I was looking at other options, and I found a $40 option to replace this, and I decided to spend $40 to upgrade this one, but not necessarily compete with the most expensive one. So what I got, and let's actually, oh, and I just knocked it over and probably broke it. Not this one. I probably broke the $20 one. Why can't I find, here it is. So we're going to talk about this in a second, but you can see I've got ankle weights connected to the bottom of these, and I'll explain why in 1 second. So this was $40. This one here. It's got these wonky little feet on it, and you pull the little things out, and it folds flat. It's got these little quick adjust things that, you know, expand it out. Why do we need weight? Why do we need weight to the tripod? Okay, I'm gonna explain that. I had a cop follow me in the show because I carry a monopod. Yeah, a lot of places you go as well, you can't use a tripod, but you could get away with a monopod like this. So this guy it's actually pretty tall, which is kind of nice. But you know, it's not the greatest quality. You can, you know, so here's the weight question, right? Like, this has such a small foot to it. It can't even really stand up on its own. Although I say that and then I put it down and I say, but if you just bump it a little bit, it's going to fall over. So what I found out was I bought these really cheap ankle weights, and what I do is I put the ankle weight on the bottom of the monopod, and I think this is a 5-pound weight, if I'm not mistaken. But by putting this 5-pounder on the bottom, it'll still sway, but now when you bump into it, it doesn't fall over. So this one's pretty decent for $40, but it's not great. It's a little bit, it's decent. It's decent. You can't really bump it though. It does kind of sway. So this one, I'm not going to take the weight off the bottom, but this one was the $100 and something one. It doesn't go quite as high as this other one, but it's got a much more stable base. You can see how it's much thicker. It's much better supported. When I put them down and let go, you can kind of see like this one, I don't know. This one's just cheaper. It's just not, it's not great. You do not want a tripod that sways. Absolutely not. So what's great about these, right, is the base of them is so small that when you're working, you can stand right next to it with the camera right here and not bump into the base. If you had a regular tripod with big old feet on it, you can't get this close to your tripod. So like when you're at a train show and you want to video something on the, on the thing that you go to at the train show, you can't get your tripod this close to the train thing when you have a tripod with big feet. And this is much easier to carry around the train show. It's really small. It's nice. It's simple. And it works. So you have a Manfrotto. I have a Manfrotto too. This is my Manfrotto tripod. Right here. So this is a little mini Manfrotto tripod. I usually will throw this in my bag as well. This is kind of a little base that's like the bases that are on these monopods behind me. But what I do is this is my 360 camera, and you can screw the little tripod, just the mini tripod base to the bottom of it. And now if I ever want to put this down somewhere, I can just walk over and, put it down on the tripod, and now that's got a place to sit. I don't know where the camera is, but anyway. So this is also the one with the selfie stick, so it, extends out, and now you've got the long selfie stick and whatnot. So this one here, this was $20. This was a good place to start. It's not great. This one was $40. I don't know why it's leaning. I don't know why it's leaning a weird way. This one's okay. This one I really like. It's carbon fiber. This is the one I carry with me everywhere. I also have this, and what you can do is, instead of using this little guy, you can just screw this to this guy. This is how I did. If you saw, I had a 360 video recently of a freight train when I was at Greeley, Colorado. And this is what I did, is I had this monopod and I just extended that up, and it's perfect, low profile. No, if someone makes an effort to hold the camera still, I'm fine. It's when they go gonzo and flit all over the directions that I check out. Yeah, well, that's true. I get that. I got lucky and got a ton of tripods for $3 a piece. Sure, they aren't the best, but they work, and one breaks so well. Exactly. And that's true. I have many of the big, huge tripods, but I'm much happier now with these monopods. And when I'm filming around the layout room, let's turn this light on. Maybe people will be able to see a little better. When I'm filming around the layout room now, this is definitely what I've been using, are these smaller monopods, just because of the bases. The bases don't get in your way. I don't have I don't have a big footprint, so I can get much closer to the cameras as well. That video was sick. Human, I was laying in bed when I realized that by moving my phone around, I could see the whole train. Yeah. I didn't know this, but those 360 videos, if you watch them on your iPhone, you just stand there and move around. And as you move the camera, you're actually like immersed in where the space was. If I was a rail fan, like if I was out doing rail fanning all the time, I and I was in this price range. I was in like the GoPro $400-500 price range. I would not get a GoPro. I would get the Insta360 X3 uh, for rail fanning and like really like feeling like you're there. I think the whole 360 thing is just a game changer. And again, these monopods easily fit, or use it as a walking stick as you walk out there. And yeah, the Insta360s on the trucks are really cool as well. The stuff with vehicles are awesome. Oh, which videos you watch on your VR headset? That's really cool. That is so cool. Rayron VR. What's a game changer for you? Oh, the 360 camera. I checked in with Eric over at IMRRO.com before I bought mine because he has been using his 360 camera to record all of his videos. And I said, like, does it make sense to get it? I didn't catch the camera car. So you fear a strong wind would wreak havoc. That is why. That is the whole reason for the ankle weight, right? If you don't want to carry the ankle weight around on the monopod, put it on your ankles while you walk around. But having the ankle weight on the bottom of this, because this is, I don't remember how many pounds it is, but whatever this is going to counter the top of it. And even a little bit of wind or whatever, like, it's fine. It's good. That 360 video thing works the same on my Pixel 6 Pro 2 Android. Yes. Aim the phone around. I don't know if that's I wonder if that's a YouTube thing or if you need to be on a specific type of phone, like if it works on older phones and newer phones, or what it works on and what it doesn't work on. I'm not really sure. Oh, that's interesting. Of course, Derek is watching yoga videos in 360. This reminds me of all my cymbal stands. I have a nice assortment. I need to fix this. I can't read the way this is set up right now and the way the lights are and everything. I can't read it. It's hard to read. I need to figure it out. And it works on your phone, Container Man? The phone needs to be able to detect it's moving around. Ah, good point. There you go. By the way, sorry, the topic of Thunder and Lightning ship's been released. Had regrets after selling and ordered another one. What I am wondering, Frank, is did they make any improvements on it? Or is it the same exact one? Because I don't... I was trying to ask or trying to figure out if it was, and I wasn't quite sure. Oh, it is the same thing? Yeah, I think it's I mean, it's a little gimmicky, but I think it's fun, the BLI Thunder and Lightning. I mean, everything that I'm doing or planning for on this layout is to try and give a sense of time or a sense of you know, space, a sense of distance. And I think the little things like the thunder and lightning, I want the shorter lights because I want the thunder and lightning to be able to happen on like one end of the layout and not really affect a different end of the layout. Oh, symbol stands. Now I get you. If I want thunder and lightning in my train room, I just piss off the wife. Works every time. So you got to get it then. You got to get it done. What have I done with the ceiling? Oh, so all this stuff. This is still up. I haven't taken it down yet because I still need to do a bunch of drilling and cutting on that side of the layout. So I've left it up so far. I don't know. I might take it down and just go to the park or something to do the last little bit of cutting I need to do. I'm not completely sure yet. So it's still yes, Frank. The lightning and thunder is much better than the, what is it, the MRC Sound Station 210 or something like that. I mean, it was good for its time, but it's a little different. But yeah, I mean, now that I've got like this kind of stuff going over here, with the lights going on and off, and having it be able to be controlled by JMRI, I can do whatever I want now. And I guess that was kind of the goal, is to kind of get to a place of just being able to, have fun with stuff. That's me controlling it through, through JMRI. So here's the JMRI light table. You can see it, this side. I can't figure out which side it's on, but through JMRI turns on and off. So yeah, I'm just having fun. We'll get to the layout. The next goal is to get the turnout motors all connected up and working. So we'll get all of the turnout motors connected on this side of the room. After all the turnouts are working, then we'll start getting some turnouts in place, and the track laying should go pretty quickly. It took me a long time to start track laying the last time, and it's taking a long time again, but we'll get there. I didn't set up the Halloween train this year. I don't know. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should grab that. Has anyone had the BLI Rolling Thunder? Does it work well? Is it worth it? Derek, in my opinion, yes. That is, I think, depending on if you were here earlier or not, you can see this one here is labeled Thunder. I'm specifically labeling that because that is what I will use to turn on and off the BLI Thunder and Lightning system. And the reason, so there's two options for triggering the BLI Thunder and Lightning. The one is automatic, where it just automatically plays through a variety of settings. Oh, he means the subwoofer. Oh. Yes, I think the subwoofer, I think it's brilliant. If N scale, for N scale in particular, you can't get a big enough speaker to actually provide the feeling of a locomotive that you can, with a larger speaker. So offloading the bass to a different device is brilliant. So this is the company. You can go to their website. It's ATHOM. They have ESP32 devices, and they have Tasmota devices. I got the ESP32 one, or sorry, not 32. ESP Home. They're ESP8266s, but I got the ESP Home version, not the Tasmota version. It kind of all depends what interface you wanted to use. I got the ESP Home interface just because it's smart home stuff. So you know, if I have a problem, and I did this, I just posted the question on Reddit and got the answer, because you know, it's smart home stuff. So there's a lot of people that are using the protocol. It's not limited to model railroading. It's completely you know, open. So you know, go on Reddit and whatnot, and you can see tons of people using ESP home stuff. So there's lots of support out there. Very, very little support in the model railroading community. A ton of support outside of it in the smart home. I do not believe there is a second section tonight. If I am wrong, let me know. But second section usually goes every other week. They last week they had on Boomer from Boomer Dioramas, whose real name I have no idea what it is. But he was on last week, so I believe they are off this week, and my assumption is they will be back the following week. Just a reminder, tomorrow night I am going to be co-hosting Talking Trains with John over at TSG Multimedia. We'll have Seth Newman on. We'll be having a great conversation both about technology, two separate conversations. One about technology, one about operations. They'll probably overlap a little bit, but those are the topics. So we're going to have a good time tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And from the city that never sleeps, farewell, model citizens.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about